Yo. I was gonna wait a few minutes for people to turn up. Right, I'll start off now then, I suppose. So basically on the DXY you could see that we're basically trending lower. You know, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We get rid of that actually because I want to change the color and stuff, go back to the blue that it was before. Beautiful. Okay, so obviously we're in a bearish market. How do we know? Because you're having higher high led to lower high, low led to lower high, that led to lower low, led to lower high, lower low, 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 higher low, lower high, equal low, lower high, technically slightly lower low internally, and then lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we started rejecting off of this level. So price obviously is quite bearish on the DXY. We haven't had the volume that we had here and here anymore, because obviously here we've been a bit more range band in this section right here on the DXY, and obviously because you were so extended from this entire move down, if you look at the DXY, I think we're down a fair amount in terms of percentage. Just to have a look, I think we got down, so we did a 12.67% drop on the DXY, so that's a pretty healthy drop on the DXY. Now we did start to find support basically off of FOMC, where Jerome Powell said that, you know, he's not so keen or so quick to cut rates and stuff like that, which the stock market didn't like in that FOMC meeting. And then obviously the DXY started to find support off of that, and then we're looking at 2026 in terms of rate cuts and stuff, and we're not really expecting many rate cuts. I think it's only one in January, February, and then maybe one in June, July, and the second one apparently is a 50-50. So I think that because we're not expecting much in 2026, and the market's already priced in 3 rate cuts for this year. So the one that we had last month, the one that we're going to probably get this month, and then the one that we're going to get in potentially in December. So the market's already priced that in. Now, because they're looking into next year, obviously the market is always forward looking. So the market is always looking in one direction, and that's ahead. What is the market gonna do next? That's kind of what the market's always looking at, the direction of where things are due to go. So this was all happening when we were under the impression, or the idea even, that the idea that, you know, we're gonna cut rates and stuff like that. Now, a lot of other countries are in rate cutting cycles. The only other one that isn't is the pound, so hence why the pound is relatively strong compared to the other currencies. It is probably the strongest G10 currency at the moment, the pound. So I think that's kind of why we're seeing a lot of support on the pound. It's mainly because of that scenario, to be fair, where the rest of the countries are cutting but these aren't. So yeah. So that's what I think anyway. The market's kind of looking forward and stuff like that. We are finding support on the DXY. Obviously we did kind of break this level right here on the DXY, this level right here of 99.75, but then what happened is we did have a move out and then we come straight back in. That to me kind of looks like a fake out. So I'm glad that we kind of managed to get a body close below 97.5. So we closed all the way back down between 90, around 98.6 basically, or 98.8. That's fine. So I'm happy with that. So I'd like to see this occur, bearish price action, but that stemmed from Trump potentially putting tariffs on China. Now, I've been looking on some news and stuff like that just to find out how that's been going over the weekend, right? So I'm just looking. So investors are waking up to some major news from China. The entire tariff crash of October 10 may have been just one big misunderstanding between Trump and Xi. The news about China's rare earth export controls came out on November 9th, 26 hours before Trump posted about it. This was a non-news event until Trump posted about it over one day. Last night, China released a statement clarifying that their export controls on rare earths. In their response, China said its new controls are not a full export ban and applications that meet regulations will be approved. Amid the market's downturn on Friday, our view was that the 100% tariff announcement by Trump was a bargaining chip. After China's statement last night, we believe the odds of Trump 100% China and tariff going into effect are extremely low. The largest crypto liquidation in history and minus 2.5 trillion loss on S&P 500 market cap appear to have been driven by one misunderstanding. We expect another trade deal soon. So that was earlier on today, like 4.5 hours ago, something like that. 4.5 hours ago. Let me just see if I can get more update on that. President Trump also said an hour ago, don't worry about China, it will be all fine. Trump says China's presidency just had a bad moment. There is Sunday's pre-future open post we've been waiting for. So yeah, it just seemed like a huge misunderstanding, to be fair. The odds are the DXY is going to continue its push. So So obviously when the market opens on Monday, it might just push all the way back up, or Tuesday might push all the way back up, and then we will come back into this level here, back into these highs here, and then maybe even break that level and come into 101 to 102, and then potentially short from this this level here. So we might get price kind of going bullish, still tagging this level, and then maybe if you're still bearish, you can short from there. That's kind of the next zone that you'd want to short from. If you see price come into this level and continue bullish and you don't get a sign of shorts, then there's a likelihood that we might then start going all the way up to the 103 or 104 level to 104.5 level. So I think there is a huge likelihood that we might have a strong bullish run on DXY, depending on how we open up next week. Obviously we do have a lot of news next week as well, to be fair. So on Monday we got the OPEC monthly report, we got Jerome Powell speaking on Tuesday, we got the New York Fed manufacturing index Wednesday, Thursday we got nothing there. The blackout on the US government shutdown continues. Yeah, so what news have we got next week? So 14th is Tuesday, so we got CPI for Germany, UK unemployment change, unemployment rate, average UK earnings. That's all 7 in the morning. Wow, that's going to be a big one on Tuesday, big one. And then in New York session we've got a bunch of speeches by a bunch of different people. I think that's when Jerome Powell speaking. And then obviously on the 15th of October we got French CPI in the London session. New York session, there's nothing really going on. 16th of October we've got UK GDP quarter on quarter, year on year, trade balance, manufacturing production in the London session, and then in New York session we've got retail sales, and then we got a bunch more Fed speeches. And then on the 17th, which I think puts us on the last day of the week, the Friday, we've got Eurozone CPI, and then just a bunch of press conferences in the New York session. So I think that's going to be interesting just to kind of see where the market's going to go. So yeah, I think that's going to be interesting for sure. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I think that there is a likelihood that we might obviously push straight up, tag this level here, and then we could look for a short, see how that's gonna go. Because this day here we were rejecting and we were coming down. We did end up having like a slightly bearish candle, and then the news come out and then the DXY dropped aggressively. So I think that the possibility is there for potential short still from this level here. I feel like if obviously we break this level, then we can take buys up into this level and potentially short from here if you short the DXY. If you're long the DXY, then odds are you're kind of waiting for price to, well, I suppose price is giving you the break and the test of this level here, so you could just kind of get in longs. Wait, what's happened here? That was weird. So you can kind of look at getting in straight on here on this candle close if you were bullish, to be fair, but I think it'd be hard to be bullish on USD after hearing that bit of concerning news that we had from the government, from Trump. So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the DXY. We were kind of overbought, I suppose, but I think that might fail because of the news that we've seen and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see overbought right here. You can see that right there. This RSI is looking really good, to be fair, but my key areas are good enough for me. So going over to EURUSD on the daily chart. So you got this low here to this high there. We did obviously just come out of this consolidation right here. So it did kind of come out, and this seems like it's kind of a fake out, to be fair. And then we kind of come back in and we find support in the 50% level of this area here, which just landed with the fib anyway. We had a bit of a bounce, and now we're just pushing down with that strength of the DXY. Naturally, if we do see the DXY rejecting that 100 level, then odds are we might then start pushing up on Euro a little bit. and then we might come down to the 96 level or whatever it was, come down to this level here, the 97 and a half, and then on EU we might then start kind of seeing a weaker euro versus the dollar if the DXY starts to find support in that level once again. So I think that's going to be interesting. In terms of where can you go long, where can you go short, I think the 4 hour, we are kind of in a bearish channel. If we just look at this, let me try and draw that better. So we are kind of in a bearish channel like that. I think if price comes up and we get lower time confirmation, probably like on the 30-minute or something, if we're looking at the 4 hour, try and get into the 30-minute or something, then short back down into these kind of lows down here, the 786 level on the fib, because this is a 4 hour and a daily high and low. We can try kind of aim for that 786 level. If we see price action still giving bullish or bearish momentum, you can then target back into these lows, and we might even break those lows and push further down on EURUSD. That's on the 4 hour. Now obviously we do have a lot of price action going on in this entire level right here. There's just a lot going on all the way over here. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because you could say that we had a fake out to the low side and now we're pulling back into this range. So it's a bit of a tricky one, to be fair, because we had this fake out here on the daily time frame, or I suppose might as well just draw it from here. So I had this fake out and then instantly pushed down back into the range, reacted and straight back down again. We had a bit of time here, and then obviously we had a fake out on this low here, bringing it back into the range again. So I find that rather interesting. So I think that this week's going to be interesting to find out what's going to happen with the DXY. Are we going to go long? Are we going to go short? Vice versa. And then obviously Euro USD, Pound USD, all the USD crosses are going to be reflective of what happens in terms of that with the DXY. Now, if you were to go on the 30-minute time frame, for example, if you trade lower time frames, I think that if we're just following price action, I think that it's interesting because we have seen price come down and take out one low, two low, then kind of give a bullish reaction from there. So we took out one low there, two low there, so one low, two low, three low, four low, and then we took that out. We had a bullish reaction right there from this level. Now we do have this level right here as well, so it'll be interesting to see if price is gonna continue to go higher, break this level here, and then potentially get a pullback and then go long on there, go long from here possibly, for example, which lines up with this demand zone right here, I suppose. Or we might not even get that. We might even get price doing something slightly different, where it doesn't break this high, it just kind of does a pullback into taking these one highs, two highs, so one high, two high, I can't draw a straight line, one high, two high, three high, and then whatever we get tomorrow, price might come up into this level and then just drop straight down from there, or it might come up, take this level fully and then drop down, because you got Asia high there and you've got another Asia high here, so price might come up, take that level and then drop from there. So you got a few potential opportunities in terms of shorts. In terms of longs, if you are confident on this level potentially holding and that we are going to start to see bullish price action, then I suppose what you could say is that price may potentially come down into this demand zone. If we get lower time confirmation, then we can long through these highs, through this structural high, through this Asian high. We could basically go long all the way through these levels. So you got this Asian high, you got London and New York high here, and you've obviously got New York high here. And to be honest, with this New York high, I think it's interesting because we've got a tiny little channel there, which is interesting. So I think price might want to come up, take out these highs, take out these highs, take out this, and potentially this, maybe even this level here. Oh, that messed up. Maybe even this level here, and then potentially drop down after coming taking this level out. So you got a few opportunities there. That's more of a swing based opportunity if you're trading on the 30-minute time frame. For me on 30-minute, I'm just looking to trade for 2 hours, 3 hours maximum on the 30-minute time frame. But as I was saying, you got a few opportunities there to get long, to get short, depending on what price does and how we get the market open and stuff like that. All of it is very much reflective of that, just to kind of predict what's going to go, what's going to happen next and stuff on the 30-minute time frame. Now, if we go to the daily on GBPUSD, same thing pretty much here. We're stuck in this recent swing low to this swing high. We were bullish, making higher lows and higher highs and higher lows and then higher highs and then higher lows and then higher highs. We made a technically equal low, but then we made a lower high and then a lower low and then a lower high and then a higher low, internal higher high, but we didn't break this high. This high did not fail. This one still held. So that was for me interesting, because if you are bullish, then naturally for market structure, this high should have gone up and taken this high out, but obviously it didn't. So I found that interesting, because what did we see? Instead, we seen that price come up, then made kind of an equal low, lower high, and then we break that low again. So it's kind of in an interesting scenario right now where we are kind of in the recent price action from this high to this low. We are slowly being very corrective on the downside. So I find that rather interesting, because to be fair, the fib should be more on it should kind of be more or less on this level here, to be fair. There, yeah. So obviously we are correcting on the way to the downside, but as you can see here, we did find support on the 382. Now that should actually be 786, but I think we there you go, perfect. So that should actually be the 786 level, which it is, lines up beautifully right there with the 786 pullback. So I'm hoping that we're gonna start to see bullish price coming out of here. Obviously that is reflective of the DXY. If you see a bearish DXY, if you see a strengthened DXY, then it's quite naturally we could see price coming up potentially into this supply zone right here, and then just kind of mitigate that level and then drop to the low side to target these lows here, these relatively equal lows, I suppose, and then maybe even this low here. So you got an opportunity for a short there. That's going to kind of be similar on the 4 hour and the daily, because they're very, very similar time frames. As you can see on here, we made equal lows right here, so I think that's interesting. God damn it, I can't keep a straight line. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about anyway. This level here and then also this level here, they're pretty much relatively equal lows, pretty much. So I find that interesting. And then we had a brief reaction there. A lot of that reaction would have come on the back of the whole scenario with Trump announcing 100% potential tariffs on China. Now obviously if you want to go long, you kind of want to wait for price to give a pullback into this demand zone here on the 4 hour, and then wait for confirmation on the 30-minute time frame, for example, maybe even the 1 hour, and then you could probably target into these highs here. I think that's the safe level from this low to this high. I think kind of a 50% level is kind of fair, and it does look like a 50% level in all honesty. If I was to just say, if I click shift there, nope, it doesn't let me. I have to click shift, and then click that and then bring it down. So yeah, 50% is just above that level. So you could even say potentially these highs, because you've got equal highs there, kind of like relatively equal highs. So it might come up, take this level and reject. If not, it might come up, take this level, which is a potential lower high, because you're thinking about it, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, breaking this low here, and then we made a lower high. So I think that's kind of a solid level that price might come out and take, and this level here. If not, then it might come after these highs potentially to push itself down. Also we did have quite a lot of price action in this entire level. There was quite a lot of price action all the way from here and all the way from here. So I think that's interesting because you did have that move out and we're kind of pulling back into that level there, probably to 50% and then reject out of there. So this could once again also be a fake out. Very similar price action to EU in all honesty. So whatever the analysis is on GU is going to be pretty much the same on EU. And then if you go to 30-minute time frame, for example, price come up, reacted out of this potential supply zone. This could be a 1 hour supply or a 30-minute supply zone. Tagged that level and then we started to consolidate. So I think that we've got a few zones we could definitely trade from. If you want to go long, here's your zone to go long. If you get price given a pullback to these levels and you get confirmation for longs, I would take that 150%. If we don't get that and price kind of comes how can I put it, comes up, takes out this high, potentially takes out this high on the intraday price action, then we might be able to go short and then push all the way down and into further levels if we do continue to see the stronger DXY. So you got an option there for short, got an option there for long at the same time. Very similar once again to what I said on EU. GBPCHF is a bit of a tricky one because the CHF and yen strengthen on the back of the failure of DXY. If the DXY is weakening and stuff like that, then naturally you would see strengthening of the yen and the CHF. Now we did see that with this move right here. So we did see that strengthening in the CHF from this move right here after the announcement of potential tariffs coming on China. But now that we've had the signal that it was just a misunderstanding, it's odds are that DXY is potentially going to go up and then naturally the safe haven currency is going to decline off at the back of there. So I think this is a potentially good level to get long on GBPCHF to target from this low to this high. Obviously the 382 is a nice level, the 0.5, 0.6 is a nice level, but obviously we are kind of bearish because we had lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low I suppose, but we still made lower highs and lower highs and lower highs. So I think that we are kind of bearish on GBPCHF, but we've had such a big move down here. I think that we do have an opportunity for price to go up because you have a lot of consolidation in this area here. I had a lot of consolidation in this area here and then price broke down. So I think that we are going to go long. I think that's quite likely, especially if we're getting strength in the DXY potentially coming back into the market. 1 second. So that's my opinion on GBPCHF on the 4 hour, and the daily is very similar. Whoopsie. Messed with the radio then, not the radio, the music. My bad. So I think that on the 30-minute time frame, for example, if I'm just looking at that now, if we look from this low to this high, we are coming into deeper levels of the swing low, I suppose, on the 30-minute time frame. And as I said, I do like the fact that this is kind of a channel. Like all of this is kind of a channel. So I would like it if you could kind of come down, take this low, and then potentially fly up from there. If we take out that low there and then get confirmation to target back into these highs over here, I think I really do like the look of that. Now obviously if we don't get that and price does for whatever reason continue to be bearish, then the only other thing that we can really say is that the level that we can look for to kind of go short, if that's what you're looking for, is we do have a see, price is very compact and choppy. I think I'd want price to come out and take these highs just because all of this is so choppy. You could say you have like a zone here to go short, possibly. Yeah, I mean I could see that working. We did have a lot of like compressed price action here, I suppose. Let me just make that a bit cleaner. Kind of like here we did have a lot of compressed price action, so possibly yeah we might come back into that level and potentially go short from there if you're kind of looking to go short. If you're looking to go long, obviously hopefully we can come out, take these lows and then get the long signal and go along there. Or if the market opens and does a massive pullback into this level, then odds are we might already start making that move to the higher side. It's quite possible. So that's kind of my opinion on CHF. Now if you go to gold, I don't know what to say about gold. If you go on the 4 hour, it's just ripping and ripping away. So I've marked out here 4100. I think we're gonna get there probably by the end of the week. We were bullish on gold, weren't we? We were excessively bullish on gold, and then obviously you had that recent pullback and stuff like that at the end of the day. Not pullback, that negative news come out, and now we're having potential understanding of the whole scenario to do with the China tariff and stuff. I think that's just going to level out the DXY. So I think that price could potentially it might stall, possibly stall, and just do a bit of correctional pullback, probably to, like, for example, I do like the look at this level here. So price might do like a correctional pullback to this level, which is 38.90, and then potentially go along from there, because you've got a potential support level there. So it might do that. But the thing with gold is it's so, it doesn't need to do pullbacks necessarily, so it could just continue to go higher, just from the uncertainty to do the government shutdown and stuff like that. Even though the China tariffs might not be happening, there's still a lot of uncertainty in the market. You have really sticky inflation, really bad unemployment in the USA. Growth is the only saving factor, but because you don't have jobs data, because of the shutdown, all of that is just putting pressure on on gold as a safe haven currency. So I think there is still more upside to gold. I think probably 41, maybe 4200, and then we might start shifting to the downside to do more of a healthy correction pullback. Maybe something like what was this? This was a 2.7%. So maybe like if we come up to 41, that would be nice, or even maybe 42. So 42 is, where's that? So 42 is here, and then like we might get a 5% drop or a 6% drop over the span of a week or two, maybe, as we just see price potentially still rip to the upside, still ripping along, and then maybe for 1-2 weeks you just see it correctively pulling back, and then you can go along again on the higher time frame. Now on the lower time frame, on the 30-minute, for example, we obviously got this high and this low. We are going bullish internally here, because we did kind of come down, take out this low here. We also had the key area right here, that gold kind of came right into that key level, and then it flew up from there. So I find that relatively interesting also. I think this might be on my yeah, there you go. Let's get rid of that. So obviously you got this key level right here that price come in, tagged into, then give a bullish reaction on the 30-minute time frame. So what am I thinking on the 30-minute time frame? Well, we've obviously got this fib here to here. I think that if we're going to be bullish, we should continue to go make a higher high. If we were to say, this was the recent low, or this was the recent low, and price did a correctional pullback right into the 786 level, deep of that, and it did with the key area, then that was a potential higher low made. Then from here it's possible that we could continue to go higher, because we are kind of seeing that price action, aren't we? We're seeing that potential bullish correctional move to the upside gradually. So I think that, yeah, we do have possibility of more upside on the dollar, on gold. As I said, 41,000, 4,100 is possible, 4,150 possible, 4,200 by the end of the year. Yeah, probably 4,300 by the end of the year realistically, but it depends how we get there. Are we going to get it there with big strongest bullish momentum? If we do, I'm expecting a correctional pullback towards the end of the year. If it's slowly creeping up there with all the uncertainty, then yeah, we could probably do it by the end of the year. 4,300, yeah, for sure. So if you want to go short, I don't really suggest shorting gold, but you can. Like, it's not advisable, but you definitely can. This area here looks like a nice area to go short. if you see price come in here and then you see on the lower time frame confirmation, if you're trading 30-minute and you like this analysis, probably go down to M5, see what kind of confirmation you get on the lower side and stuff. If price doesn't do that and it kind of correctively pulls back, you do have this level here as a demand zone, where obviously if you go on the 5-minute time frame, for example, get confirmation, go long into these highs. But I would actually hold it. I would hold it way past that, and I'd probably try and hold it to where's the 4100? So 4100, maybe 4150. That'd be a nice level there. So you got opportunity there for shorts and longs and zones to take them from. If price does come deep into this level, it might even test this area again and go bullish, or it might even come down, take this area out, then go bullish, or take this area out and then go bullish, because you got obviously this key area low, you've got this structural low, oh god, you got this structural low, and you got this low right here. So you got a few opportunities there to go long from these levels, and obviously this is more like a shallow pullback and going long. I personally think all of them are valuable. You just need to go to the M5, find out how you're getting on with price action in terms of market structure and stuff like that. Where's the momentum? What's it looking like? What did Asia do? What's London looking like? What's New York gonna do? Type of thing. Because for me, to predict the short-term future, I look at what's just happened in the previous sessions, like previous London sessions that's just finished, or New York sessions just started. Let's look what London did. Let's look what Asia did, and maybe even the day or 2 days before on price action, just to try and get like the intraday view on where we might be heading for the next 1-2 hours or the next 1-2 potential days. Now if you want to go short, as I said, you can go short from this level here. I don't advise shorting gold, but you can 100%, by all means you can. You just might not get big moves down like you did here. This big move here is obviously not a common occurrence. I forgot why that happened now, but normally, like when you get bearish moves, you get them very corrective and stuff like that, because there's not really many people shorting gold. But all that is kind of just engineer a nice little channel for you to eventually just take out anyway. So that's my opinion on gold right there as well, on the high time frame and the low time frame. I think I've covered everything. Oh, USDJPY. I think that was on this chart. Yes, here we go. So on the daily on USDJPY, what are we seeing? We're seeing that price kind of come and it did break out of this area here. So we had a minor fake out right here. Obviously price come up, did a minor fake out there, dropped instantly into this demand zone right here. Oh my god, why is my drawing so bad today? So into this demand zone here, and then we started to see bullish price action. Obviously this was on the back off of the new prime minister of Japan saying that, you know, with her more dovish stance, was it dovish or hawkish, I forgot, more keen on having a slightly weaker yen. So obviously that made the USDJPY fly all the way straight up, and we had a lot of momentum. We held it for a while as well. We held it for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. We held above this level, so we had a lot of momentum there. And then we've had 1 day of a pullback, which obviously stemmed from the whole China issue and stuff like that. Now this would potentially continue to weaken the yen, and then that should go higher. So I'm thinking if we get a pullback on price on the 4-hour time frame, I like the look of this level right here. So this level right here looks like a nice level to me. If you come down, get along in there, try and aim for maybe 10. Obviously aim for back up to these highs of 103.27, 153.27. But I think it might even be able to go for this high right here, which is, what's that high? 154.83. Quite possible. If you're going to see the yen continue to weaken, then yeah, sure, very possible on the 4-hour time frame. Or you can just wait for price to come back into the key area right here and then go long. So it's your choice. You got a couple opportunities on that one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this bad boy around. There we go. So obviously if you look on the fib, that key area lines up with the 618.5%. Like the look at that level there. The 382 isn't really giving me much. I think on the 30-minute time frame, if you go on the 30-minute, then yeah, I suppose you could say there is a potential little level right here for support. So this level right here, yeah, around there for support. So price could come in here and potentially get long on there. That also looks quite valid if you're not going to get that deeper pullback on the 30-minute time frame. I do like the look of that. If you wanted to go short, like you had a more of a bearish stance on DXY, then I suppose you do have another level as well, to be fair, and that's going to be I'd say you got like all this gap in the price. So I'd wait for price to kind of come back up to this supply zone here and then potentially look to go short from there, in my opinion. That's kind of what I like the look of on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, that's what I like the look of for sure. Or that potential pullback into this level to go long, this level here to potentially go long. So yeah, that's pretty much everything done for me, guys. All the pairs I've done, everything I've pretty much done. Let's look at Bitcoin BTC. Get rid of that actually. So obviously you can see that we on Bitcoin on the daily chart, we did have a huge sell-off there, a massive sell-off here, all the way into this demand zone, tagging into this key area right here, and then we had a lovely bullish day. Now obviously this come on the back off of the potential good news that, you know, the whole situation with China is just all misunderstanding. So I think if you seen this price action here and you did take a long from this level, you're a sneaky bugger and well done. You hold that back up to 126 for sure, maybe even 127. Now on the 4-hour, very similar price action as well, to be honest. I'm just gonna go straight to the 30-minute time frame on Bitcoin. I think that if you're looking for a potential pullback, this level right here is beautiful. I like the look of that. If price comes in, you can go long on this shorter time frame. I really do like the look of that. If you don't get that and price just continues bullish, it is what it is. It's totally fine. If you're looking to short, you could just wait for price action to come into this level here, see if you get lower confirmation for shorts in the lower time frame. For example, breaking structure there, breaking structure there, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high, lower low, and they could potentially take it from that level there to go short, and then obviously boom all the way back into these lows or to this key area on the bottom. So you got a few opportunities there, that's for sure. That's pretty much me done, guys. I mean, I don't know if anyone's here watching or not. If you are watching on the live stream and you want me to go over any pairs, let me know and I'll go over the pairs now before I cut the stream. Because I was just doing the analysis on the main pairs that are trade. So guys, if you have anything you want me to go over, just literally drop it in the chat and I'm happy to kind of answer any questions you might have. I don't know if anyone's even on the live stream or not, but right, I'm gonna call it there then anyway, because I don't think anyone's here, so that's fine. Guys, if you're watching this back, leave a comment and stuff like that. I'd appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff. I'll see you guys probably Monday London session. So yeah, man, peace out everyone, take it easy, bye.